on SportsNite. The Cubs have been dealt a difficult hand in the wild card poker game.
He sends that to center field, and that one is going to find another gear.
We are live at Wrigley to sort through the aftermath. Plus, the Cubs broadcast booth is under fire again. Sticks and Stoney may break your bones, but...
We all have things that, if we had them to think over again, we might change them, but my comments are my comments.
Another setback for the Bears as they prepare for one of the NFC's elite. We're live at Soldier Field and in Philly. Plus, we'll take you to South Bend, where the Irish will need some luck to slow down the potent Boilermaker offense. The promo is over. Get set, Chicago. SportsNite starts now.
Told you Hampton can hit. He launches a two-run homer.
The Cubs continue to spiral out of playoff contention. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the maiden voyage of SportsNite on Comcast SportsNet. Mike Sy with Carrie Sayers. I am Pat Boyle.
The Cubs' postseason chances hinging on the outcome of the final 3 games of the season against the Braves. They needed to run the table starting this afternoon. Let's head right out to Wrigley. The Cubs began the day a game back of the Giants and Astros. Harry Wood on the hill facing Dwayne Wise in the second. And Wise likes what Wood has to offer. Dead center field and gone. Braves jump out to the 2-zip lead. Bottom half of the inning, 2 on and 1 out for Mark Grudzielanek. He sends one right back up the middle. Moises Alou scores to cut the Braves lead in to cut the Braves lead in half, but that's all the Cubbies would get in the inning. Top 4. Wood with the high heat from Mike Hampton, and Hampton jumps all over it. A fine time for the pitcher to hit his second dinger of the season. What are the chances? Braves take the 4-1 lead. Cubs with another chance, bottom of the 4th, runners on first and second, just 1 out. But Mike Barrett grounds into a routine 6-4-3 DP to end the threat, and the Cubs fail to score again. Jumping to the bottom of the 9th. Cubs down 4. Pinch hitter Ben Grieve delivers. Finds some green to right center. Nomar Garciaparra and Todd Walker both score, and the Cubs pull within 2. This is looking good. Next batter, pinch hitter Jose Macias keeps it going. Base knock to left. That plates pinch runner Calvin Murray, and the Cubs now pull within 1. And Cubbies fans keeping their fingers crossed, hoping for the best out of Corey Patterson. The 3-2 pitch. He gets nothing. We got 2 outs. Cubs down to their last hope. Derrick Lee. See what he can do. The comebacker off Kevin Grabowski's glove. Rafael Furcal does the rest. And that's it. Game over, folks. The Cubbies lose again. 5-4 final in this one. The Braves now have the Cubs on the verge of wild card elimination. That's their 4th straight loss in the friendly confines. 6 of 7 overall. Not Wood's finest hour. He had a 3-0 regular season record against the Braves, but today he allowed 10 hits and 5 runs in 7 innings. Now the Northsiders have to beat the Braves on Saturday and Sunday, and again, hope for some help.
Yeah, big time, because here is the NL wild card situation up to the very second. Cubs a game and a half back now, and the Giants open up that 3-game set at Los Angeles tonight. Astros taking on the Rockies. So the Cubs' playoff chances take a major hit today. And before the game, believe it or not, the Cubs broadcast booth was under fire again, namely Steve Stone. We've got both angles covered for you. Gail Fisher is standing by live at Wrigley. Good evening, Gail.
Hi, Pat. Yeah, a lot more distractions to go along with a season of distractions. You know, in the end, the Cubs just could not muster the same magic they did a year ago. This offense has done a disappearing act, but it wasn't just the hitting and it wasn't just the pitching. The Cubs did not look like playoff contenders, making a lot of errors in the field today and leaving those of us watching, if they really were as focused as they should be with their backs against the wall. There's no sugarcoating this one. The steam has run out of the engine.
Happened to us a couple times, you know. Happened to us with I mean, the guys are fighting with every ounce of energy they have left. You know, this has been a long stretch here, not only physically but emotionally. We just got to keep fighting. We got 2 more to go. I mean, we gotta win these.
If you look back on the history of the Cubs, it's a good season. I don't think we've put back-to-back winning seasons together since the 70s at some point. But if you ask the guys in the clubhouse, it's going to be a disappointing season. And in my opinion, it is, because I expect to be back in the postseason and with a chance to go to the World Series this year. You know, again, we came up short, and it is what it is.
If we don't make the playoffs, it would have been very difficult because of all the stuff we've been through this year. And then to have made it and then ultimately to win the whole thing, it would have made it even more special for us because we've lost so many guys this year that we depended on. And we were able to survive at this point. But as it turns out, it looks like it just took a toll on us too much.
Still not mathematically eliminated, but the odds are not good at this point. One of the team's harshest critics all season long has been Cubs broadcaster Steve Stone. Stoney made some comments on the radio yesterday criticizing the team, in which the Cubs have taken exception to. Stoney basically saying that the Cubs players need to take more responsibility for the season. And here's a little snippet of what Stoney had to say. He says, the Cubs are looking at all directions except where they should really look, and they keep making excuses. At the end of the day, don't tell me how rough the waters. You bring in the ship. This team had enough talent to win the wild card by 6 or 7 games. General Manager Jim Henry, along with Dusty Baker, both took exception to these comments and say this time Steve Stone went too far, and we had a chance to talk to all parties involved before the game.
I think we have intelligent broadcasters and obviously done a good job in a lot of ways for years, but I think there was a tone to it that got a little personal, a little slanted personally, and I don't think that's appropriate. I mean, obviously things haven't gone well in the last week or so. We win 2 or 3 more games. Obviously, I don't think the same comments would have been made if we were 2 games up with 3 to go. So I think part of it is bad timing of it, and I think it didn't take a lot of thought to realize that some of it was a little too personal.
Man, let them talk. I don't care. I mean, I do the best job I can do, and I use the personnel to the best of my ability. If that's not good enough, hey, that's their problem.
Can you confirm or deny any truth to the rumors that you've been fired?
I don't know what you're talking about. What happened was I had extended conversations with Andy McPhail, with Jim Hendry, and with Dusty Baker at length. And I think we resolved everything. That's pretty much it.
What does that mean, you resolved everything, Steve?
It means exactly what I said.
Do you regret any of your comments?
I think we all have things that that if we had them to think over again, we might change them, but my comments are my comments.
So more controversy and distractions before this Cubs game today. Steve Stone, by the way, will finish out the season in the booth on Sunday. At Wrigley Field, I'm Gail Fisher. Let's send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Gail, nice job. Plenty of drama out there at Wrigley Field today. We'll see you at 10 o'clock.
To football now, where the Bears need no reminder of the challenge they face on Sunday. They've gotten plenty. They need only go as far as the Eagles' 3-0 start and Donovan McNabb's perfect record against them. Oh yes, Donovan McNabb has been good against his hometown team, and he's only gotten better since the arrival of Terrell Owens. We now welcome in William Jackson from a rainy Soldier Field. And William, just one question remains here. Do they have enough guys left standing on defense to stop McNabb and company?
Kerry, you have to wonder whether or not they do. They're going down every week, and they're not coming back as quickly as the Bears would hope. Now, we're out here trying to get a start on everyone else by a couple of days because we're excited about the game. The Bears should be excited as they have a chance to win at home, although, like you said, it won't be easy with a depleted secondary and defense. Now, the big question all week long has been the health status of Brian Urlacher. Will he be able to go? He didn't practice yesterday, and today he had on the shorts and the T-shirt, didn't practice again, and late today the Bears just flat out said, you know what, Brian will not be playing this weekend. Coach Lovie Smith talked about his all-pro linebacker after practice at Hallis Hall today.
Brian Urlacher, we downgraded him a little bit. Didn't look like he'll be able to play this week unless a miracle happens overnight. That's the way it's looking right now.
All right, now the Bears loose despite the fact that very good Eagles team coming in. Now, R.W. McWaters felt a little chill. He had to run back in the building. Reason is he left his pants in there. No way can he concentrate at practice today until he gets his pants on. Now, you're talking about letting it all hang out. Bobby Wade did that literally as he takes the braids out of his hair, lets the fro just hang. Now, if you have a helmet on and you take a big hit, the fro will give you plenty of cushion. The Bears appear to be loose. We'll see how loose they are come Sunday high noon right here at Soldier Field. Kerry, go back to you in the studio.
William, thanks a lot, and we're glad you left the house with your pants today. All right, we'll look forward to hearing more from William a little later on. Another update on the Bears tonight at 10. Hey, if you're looking for the Bears' best post-game coverage in town, Comcast SportsNet is the place to go. Tune in right after the game for Bears Post-Game Live. Join host Dan Jiggets and a slew of analysts who will break down all the action. William will be out at Soldier Field getting the coach and players' reaction. Once again, it's Bears Post-Game Live right after Sunday's game.
And pants are optional. For the first time in the 117-year history of Notre Dame football, the Irish are 3-1 and not ranked. That would certainly change if they were able to knock off 15th-ranked Purdue on Saturday. Joining us now live from South Bend is our own Chuck Garfien. Chuck, take it away. Chuck literally took it away. He entered stage left. We'll have much more on Chuck as he previews the big game against the Boilermakers. He also has an interesting story on a hero that used to play for Notre Dame and that lost, Daniel Green, who lost a couple legs in fighting in Iraq. So we'll have that a little bit later on tonight.
All right, we've got people live everywhere, and there's more where that came from. Up next, we're going to head out to Philly. And who better to analyze the Bears' upcoming opponent than a guy who's covered him for years? We check in with Derrick Gunn of Comcast SportsNet Philadelphia for the latest on the Eagles. That's coming up.
And with training camp getting underway next week, the Bulls add yet another body to an already crowded front court. We'll hear from John Paxson. That's later on SportsNite.
Congratulations, NBC Sports Chicago, on an incredible run. I have so many great memories of the 14 years I worked at the station. Being at the Super Bowl in '07 when Devin Hester returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown in the rain in Miami. Co-hosting Blackhawks championship celebrations with Pat Boyle. But nothing can top the night the Cubs won the World Series. The atmosphere in the newsroom was electric. Everybody pitching in, trying to capture the excitement of such a special moment in Chicago sports history. Working at NBC Sports Chicago, one of the highlights of my career, and the friendships that I made, well, I'm going to treasure those forever.
You know, nothing motivates me more than standing up for people's rights. Viewers reach out to me because they've been wronged and they need help getting answers. Often they look to us as their last resort, and that's when our investigative work begins. At the end of the day, my goal is resolution, whether it's getting your money back or ending bad business practices. With each story, I hope everyone watching at home can take away something new, something that can help you protect your money and your family.
Who am I? I'm a mom.
I am an abuelo, and I am a big hugger.
I'm a sister, tia y amiga.
I'm a New Rican, and I'm the best of both worlds.
I am an entrepreneur.
The family translator.
I'm the #1 soccer fan.
I'm the life of the party.
I am Afro-Latina.
I am crazy about Latin food. So good.
I'm a passionate dancer.
I am all that I am.
All that I am.
Hispanic heritage.
Celebrating all that we are.
Hi, I'm David Kaplan. Congratulations to everyone at NBC Sports Chicago on an incredible 20-year run providing the best television coverage of sports the city of Chicago has ever seen. I was blessed to be there for almost 15 years, to come into your homes on a nightly basis with Sports Talk Live, and of course, the highlight of my career, November 2nd, 2016, when the Chicago Cubs ended 108 years of insanity and won the World Series. All the best to everyone at NBC Sports Chicago. And thank you for allowing us into your homes every night.
Welcome back to Sports Night, everyone. We've reestablished connection in South Bend, where tomorrow Notre Dame will take on 15th ranked Purdue, and Chuck Garfien is standing by with more on that matchup. Chuck?
Yes, college football at its finest here this weekend, Pat, as it is Notre Dame against 15th ranked Purdue. Both teams coming in red hot, winners of 3 in a row. Notre Dame really clicking, especially after that huge blowout win here last weekend against Washington. But they've yet to face a team with the offensive firepower as Purdue.
You have a great quarterback in Orton, a veteran behind the center, and you have good receivers that surround him, and a decent running game that they come in the Notre Dame Stadium with. It always is going to highlight your secondary and your linebacking core. And when you have a front like we do with Tuck and Button Zach off the edges, it's going to allow us to play a little tighter coverage and maybe get some jumps on the ball, get a lot more picks.
And when they're throwing the ball in the air, that's when us as a secondary, we take pride in, going after the ball, catching interceptions or, driving through the receivers. If you catch the ball, we're going to try to take a mentality in this game. If we're not catching it, they're not catching it.
Hopefully we can do some good things to keep this group at bay. But this is really a very good group. And, as much as you talk about the group, you have to understand that the most important clog in that is a quarterback. And he is actually the best in the country.
Certainly high praise for Mr. Kyle Orton, who comes in with a QB rating of 190, which is #1 in the nation. However, he has not been tested. This team has not been tested. They will be tested for sure coming tomorrow. Now, Notre Dame has certainly seen its share of inspiring figures over the last century, and none more so than Danielle Green, a woman from Chicago, a basketball star there, was a basketball star here then at Notre Dame, then joined the Army, went to Iraq. And in Iraq, this past May, she lost her left arm, her shooting arm, in battle. An amazing story of her survival and her comeback as she returned here to Notre Dame September 11th for a flag ceremony in her honor during the Michigan-Notre Dame game. We caught up with her and we'll tell her full story, an inspiring story, one that might be coming soon to a theater near you tonight at 10 o'clock. Live at Notre Dame. Chuck Garfien, Comcast SportsNet.
All right, Chuck, thanks a lot. We will look forward to hearing more on Danielle's story.
Absolutely.
A little later on tonight. All right, well, here on Sports Night, we're obviously just getting started here on Chicago, but out in Philadelphia, Comcast SportsNet is celebrating their 7-year anniversary today, actually.
Yeah, so naturally, we made sure the Bears and Eagles were playing each other in honor of this historic TV event, or maybe it was just blind luck.
Maybe.
Joining us now, my old partner, Derrick Gunn. We've been trying to figure out here, Derrick, who Jonathan Quinn is in Chicago. I guess you're pretty much doing the same in Philly.
No question, Pat. When you look at this Bears team, a team that's so decimated by injuries, it's almost as if you got a team coming into a gunfight with a cap gun. But the Eagles don't see it that way. What they see is a potent Bears ground attack. And, of course, like you guys back there, a lot of Eagles here have been scratching their heads all week long trying to figure out just who this Jonathan Quinn is. When I talked to Eagles defensive end Hugh Douglas earlier today, one of the first questions I posed to him was, does defending Chicago's offense begin with stopping Thomas Jones?
I think it does. But you just can't focus on one person because this game is a game of 10 other people that are on the field. And they have enough over there on offense that they can't hurt you. So you have to go into this game like you would go into any other game.
Jonathan Quinn doesn't have a lot of starts under his belt. The only thing we know on the surface is that he's almost as big as Dante Culpepper. Mm-hmm. How much can you guys get a grasp on his tendencies watching limited film that you've had on him?
It's a little more difficult, but we know that he is a big guy. And, as the game progresses, we could hopefully pick up on some tendencies.
And, of course, one tendency the Eagles must be concerned with is not allowing Chicago's offensive line to control the line of scrimmage, because if that happens, it keeps the Eagles from doing what they do best, which is get its offense on the field, an offense that is averaging 29 points a game. And, Pat, as I send it back to you for Chicago fans back there who feel their Bears have no chance of winning Sunday's game, just keep this in mind. The Eagles are 0-3 in their last 3 games going into a bye week. Okay. So you do have a ray of hope.
I like that. But I don't think you'll be using that line in Philadelphia when you're on the air there tonight, will you?
No. You know Philadelphia as well as I do. I can tell you guys that, but I would never mention that here.
All right, D-Gun. Safe journeys here to Chicago.
Congratulations to you guys also.
Thanks Derrick.
Yep.
All right, we've got more to come here on Sports Night. Hey, could this guy be the newest member of the Chicago Bulls? We'll get the answer straight from the mouth of Bulls GM John Paxson when we come back. You're watching Sports Night.
NBC Sports Chicago is saying farewell to 20 years of local sports coverage. Celebrate with us as we highlight some of the best moments of the past 2 decades.
Don't stop believing.
Thank you, Chicago.
Being a part of the launch team was truly an honor and exciting time for me professionally. During my years at NBC Sports Chicago, I had the privilege of working with some of the greatest talent, production crews, and minds in the industry. They were moments I will always cherish. From working with some of the great athletes like Dan Plesac, Bill Melton, Troy Murray, and the late, great Storm and Norm Van Leer, to witnessing some of Chicago's greatest sports moments on the sidelines, I have a lifetime of memories. Thank you for inviting me into your homes, Chicago, for so many years. And thank you, NBC Sports Chicago, for a ride that was second to none.
Darte la mejor información es nuestro compromiso.
Con las noticias que te ayudan día a día y que afectan tu vida y la de tu comunidad. Cubriendo toda el área de Chicago. Reportando con precisión desde cada lugar de la ciudad.
Y presentes a nivel nacional e internacional. Sin documentos.
Cuenta con nosotros.
Para decirte las cosas como son.
En las tardes de Telemundo, las noticias comienzan a las 4.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. Innovating to prepare students for our fast-changing world. They're skilled experts, discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, leading by example. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Well, training camp begins for the Bulls just 4 days from now, and they continue to beef up their roster. How does another 250 pounds sound? The Bulls inked free agent power forward Gary Trent to a non-guaranteed deal today. Trent was expected to be here in the Windy City for a physical exam a little bit earlier this afternoon. Now, Trent has averaged 8.5 points and 4.5 rebounds over a 9-year career that has also featured stops with the Trailblazers, Raptors, and Mavs. He joins a somewhat crowded Bulls front court that already includes Antonio Davis, Eddie Curry, Tyson Chandler, and Othella Harrington. But Bulls GM John Paxson, who just happened to be a guest on Chicago Tribune Live earlier today, said Trent provides Chicago with a little insurance.
He's going to come into camp. He's been in the league for 9 years. He's a big, strong, physical kid. The other thing I've always felt we've lacked in the last 4 or 5 years is mental toughness, physical presence. We're trying to bring some guys in who I think are going to be able to weather some down periods that we have during the year. Guys that will not quit working, will keep battling. I mean, and Gary is a tough.
Boy, you get the nail
guy.
on the head with that one, John. You really did.
I spoke with John a little bit before he left, and he said he really does think that Trent does have a chance at contributing. It should make things pretty competitive in training camp, if nothing else.
Yeah, training camp starts next week for the Bulls. Time for us to step aside one last time on Sports Night. When we return, we'll set the table for what's on Comcast SportsNet tonight.
To my friends, and really, you guys are my family at NBC Sports Chicago, congratulations on an incredible 20-year run. You provided Chicago sports fans with a front row seat to some of the best moments in the city's history over the last 2 decades. And for me personally, it was one of the best, most memorable stretches of my career. If it ever looked like we were having fun, it's because we were. And it's everyone behind the scenes that made it possible. Love you guys.
At NBC5, learn something new, useful, helpful every day.
With the only team of specialized reporters in Chicago.
Traffic.
Metro has announced service changes in a good way.
Consumer and NBC5 responds.
Smart consumer tips to help slash your streaming bill.
The food guy.
The Japanese breakfast, certainly something unique in Chicago.
At NBC5, discover something new, useful, helpful.
Every newscast, every device, every day.
Who am I? I'm a mom.
I am an abuelo. And I am a big hugger.
I'm a sister, tía y amiga.
I'm a New Yorker, and I'm the best of both worlds.
I am an entrepreneur.
The family translator.
I'm the #1 soccer fan.
I'm the life of the party.
I am Afro-Latina.
I am crazy about Latin food. So good.
I'm a passionate dancer.
I am
all that I am. All that I am.
Hispanic heritage.
Celebrating all that we are.
As a kid who grew up in Northern Illinois with very vivid memories of cheering for the Chicagoland sports teams their entire childhood, I can honestly say it was the thrill of a lifetime being able to work at CSN Chicago. I felt re-energized by the fan base, and it reminded me why I fell in love with sports in the first place and wanted to pursue this career. Not a lot of people know this, but when I got the job offer from ESPN, I sat in Kevin Cross's office, my boss at the time at CSN, and cried a lot. I was so torn about leaving Chicago. I was so torn about leaving that company because I really loved what I did. And I loved the people that I worked with. I feel so lucky to have been able to be a part of CSN's journey and a part of their history. And I hope that at some point we made really indelible memories for other sports fans in the Chicagoland area.
Hello, Chicago. I'm Ron Burke, host of Pro Football Thursday, seen tonight at 7 o'clock. Each week, we analyze the biggest matchups in the NFC, which will include a Bears report. Former NFL offensive lineman and current broadcaster Brian Baldinger joins me along with former Redskins tight end Doc Walker. A special Friday edition of Pro Football Thursday is coming up next, right here on Comcast SportsNet.
All right, Ron, looking forward to that. Here's a peek of our full schedule for the night. Plenty of pigskin to talk about, even for you fantasy GMs out there. Chicago Tribune Live replay at 9 o'clock, and then we're back here at 10 o'clock for Sports Night. So we have Doc the Boat on the very first Sports Night. You got like another 900 in you?
Absolutely. How about you?
We'll be back better than ever in 3 hours' time. We'll see you back here then. Until that time, I'm Pat Boyle.
And I'm Carrie Sayers. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in a bit.
NBC Sports Chicago is saying farewell to 20 years of local sports coverage. Celebrate with us as we highlight some of the best moments of the past 2 decades.
Don't stop believing.
Thank you, Chicago.
Hello, I'm Katie McNeil, host of the award-winning Golf 360. Join me and former Chicago Bear long-snapping legend Patrick Manley as we cover this great game of golf in Chicago and beyond.
Name it. I cannot even begin to express my appreciation, my love, my gratitude. 20 years. And I wouldn't be where I'm at without all of you. It's not just about the network. It's not just about the teams and the sports and the franchises that we covered. It was about the people that made it what it was. So to all of you, I love you. I appreciate you. And I can't wait to see you next time.